Achiram vattayo kayo, patavim adise sato. Chuddho apeta viyanu, nirattam va kalingaram. Which means, before long, alas, this body will lie upon the ground, cast aside, devoid of consciousness, even as a useless log. Now, what happens after death? In fact, what is this phenomena called death, which has been explained in different ways in different Pali Suttas by the Buddha? The Buddha has said that death is like a bend in a continuous river of becoming. For an arhat who has realized Nibbana, it puts an end to all the activities of the life. And for other people, this flow of becoming continues even after death. So death puts an end to the activities of this life. At the very minute, there is a beginning of an activity somewhere else. It's like a train which moves from one station to the other, and at one station it waits for a longer time, and that could be death. And for an arhat, it could be till the terminus, because there is no further birth for an arhat. So death is something which occurs, and there are 31 stations which could happen during the process of death. 31 stations meaning the 31 different planes of existence. It could be the Kamaloka, it could be the Rupaloka, that is the sensuous plane, or it could be the Arupaloka, depending on one's own karmas, merits that one has done during this lifetime. Because not only during this lifetime, these merits will have an effect, it would also give us a good or a bad birth in the next one. Now, there are different kinds of karmas that one can do in a lifetime. Now, these what happens is, from the death, one moment of death, the next moment there is a new birth. So the birth when there is a disappearance, it is known as the chuti, and where it is being born, it is known as the patisandhi, that is the taking up of the next birth. So now let us understand what are the different karmas, whether it is deep, shallow, heavy or light. Whatever action that we perform at the mental, vocal or the physical, the conception is always in the mind. So the root of the action is the mind, and the consciousness arises due to the contact with the sense door, be it the eyes, be it the ears, be it the mouth. So whatever reaction takes place, a kamic reaction takes place, that is known as a sankhara. Now this sankhara could be light, it could be heavy, it could be deep, and there are certain intensity of these reactions could be as simple as a line drawn on sand, because it would just get wiped away when the water comes or the sand comes. So there could be some lines which would be drawn on water also, which is still more lighter. But there are certain karmas which are like a line on the rock, which would be very, very heavy, deep sankharas, which would decide our next birth. These bhava sanskaras, these are known as bhava is next birth. So bhava sanskaras will determine our next birth. So at the time of death, a particular bhava sankhara will arise, and this sankhara will be capable of giving a new birth. So Vipassana meditators, people who meditate, really take care of whatever thoughts, and they remain equanimous, because old age or at the time of death, there could be very heavy sensations of pain, of suffering. So it is very necessary for a person to be guarding of the sensations at the time of death. So whatever is a wholesome nature, there could be some people who must have done some very deep-rooted bad karmas, like somebody must have murdered one's parents or somebody else. At the time of death, that particular thing might arise. Or it could be that one has done great merits, one has given a lot of alms to people. So such feelings could come at the last minute. So one has to be guardful of this particular event called death, and one has to keep preparing for that by meditating and taking care of all these sankharas. So, friends, each of us has been given a human birth, which is very precious. We should take advantage of this human birth and try and strive to reach a high level of equanimity in this life, so that the life afterwards can be very peaceful. May all beings be happy.